if you could look in the mirror and you could look at yourself and know that you doing everything in your power to make yourself a better person, a better player, I think that's where that confidence comes from. Now,
First Where am I going first? I'm just Today, we got going on, you see it on the shirt, we got the Elevate Summit. This is just something I wanted to put together for some of the high school age group boys out here in Denver. I did a camp in LA and it was really, really good. It was a great turnout, but it was for smaller kids. I wanted to give like some of the high school kids an opportunity to sharpen their skills and get better, especially with a lot of them going to the next level or going to college.
What do you remember about you doing camps like this? Or did you do one? Was there a player, an NBA player that you were participating in something similar that gave you, that you kind of thought of when you were putting this together?
yeah, I think my most vivid memory is first going to Michael Jordan's camp when I was a kid, like the flight school. And I actually got to like some really cool moments with Michael Jordan himself and like talk to him, and he was cool, and it really just it made me feel like it was tangible. Like those humans sometimes feel like they're bigger than the game, but for him to take the time out of his day, out of his week to spend those little moments with me, that really went a long way for me. So that's another thing in this, just like you can never take any moment for granted. Every time you got an opportunity to hoop, you gotta do it, because there's a lot of people out here who don't have the opportunity.
You're kind of young for Jordan, though. What was Jordan to you?
Jordan, I mean, I think it was the person he was and the stories I heard, and just knowing that he's one of the greatest players ever to walk. Obviously, I was a fan of other guys growing up, just being a little bit younger, but Jordan, you can never take for granted the greatness of him.
He's got a presence, too. I imagine doing a camp with him, I imagine he brings it. Let me talk about your summer real quick, because I'm curious some Nugget stuff right now. I know, obviously, just from talking to you, talking to Brantley, I know you were working on your shot. That was one of the things you were going to do, and you kind of reworked it. What was some of the things you went into reworking your shot this summer?
I think just really going back to the basics, spending a lot of time in the gym doing the same thing over and over again. The repetition always kind of brings me back to a place of confidence, especially after the season when you know you have your takeaways of things to work on. For me, it was just going back to the basics and kind of making sure that my mechanics were all together, so that way when I was repping it out, that I was doing things the right way and the same way over and over and over again. So for me, I think it was just about going back to the fundamentals of the game.
Was there anything about, like, any way you broke down your shot at all, try to make it piece by piece? I mean, sometimes we think of that as like, these guys' age, but even at the NBA level, was there some going back to step by step, get everything right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first just, starts with the basics, always having your shoulders square, your feet, the right width apart, shoulders width apart, and always having your body square to the rim. That's just the fundamentals before you even start with the ball. And then obviously you pick up the ball. You always want to operate out of whatever your shot pocket is. Now, we all got different shots and it's always unique to you. But for me, what worked for me is getting that ball to the pocket as fast as possible with no wasted range of movement. So taking out where I dip and I go all the way up through my range of motion to shoot my shot. And it also makes it quicker too. Like when you guys will see when you guys get to playing against better players, those guys are getting out there a lot faster. They're closing out a lot faster on y'all. So you got to be able to get your shot off fast and with accuracy.
Walk me through what a day. I'm sure these guys are curious too. What does the average off-season day look like for you, from start to finish? With like, what are you working on? Shots you get up, things you're focusing on.
Well, for me, it was big that I was in the weight room, and also I had this was my first summer. I hired a chef, and really, it was just wake up in the morning, get to the facility early, eat there, get my treatment, get stretched out, mobility, activate my body, whatever the case may be. Then I go and lift for like 30 minutes, stay in the weight room for 30 minutes, and then I go out on the court for like 30, 40 minutes, work on my ball handling, work on my shot, working on my finishing, and then after that, we would play. So like for an hour, we'll play. Whether it was threes, fives, whatever the case may be. I was always trying to stay in shape by playing. I think that's the best way to stay in shape. I said that to them on the court. Like, there's no better way to play than, I mean, no better way to get into shape than to play. So after I played, get my treatment, go home, ice, rest a little bit, and then coming back in the evening just for some fine tuning jump shots. Even if it's just free throws and spot shots, you always want to make sure that the ball always feels familiar in your hand. Like, you never want to go 2 days and I ain't touched the ball, I ain't thought about a ball, like, because there's somebody else out there getting better. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think is the biggest thing that's different? Like, if you put yourself back in these guys' shoes, because it wasn't that long ago, right? It was only like 6 years ago you were right here. What's the biggest thing that you think is different that you now have a perspective about the game? Maybe it's your work habits, your rest habits, or something like that. What do you think is the biggest thing that's different that you would tell yourself if you were sitting over there?
Like you said, definitely the rest. The rest is huge. A lot of times I even get caught up on my phone scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and this, that, and the third. But you got to always just at a certain point have the discipline to put that down so that you could wake up in the morning and you could be productive. You're not dragging, waiting for an extra 5-10 minutes of sleep on your alarm. You ready to wake up, you ready to go and tackle the task at hand. So the rest is huge. And also just taking care of my body. Like, I was one of them people I thought I was invincible. Like, I had the youngest legs ever at a certain point in time. I was dunking all the time, never icing my body, just going, working out, going home. But really just doing those extra little things, well, even if it's getting there 30 minutes to an hour before, just to stretch and warm up your body so you're not just walking out there cold to hoop. Like, I think that all that attention to detail really adds up.
When did you start stretching? Because I know for me, that was not something I got to the college level. And I was like, how did I never do this growing up?
Yeah, for me, it was like a little bit earlier. Like, I want to say like sophomore and junior year is when I really started stretching, because that's when I really was like, I think I'm about to dunk today. Like, you never know. That's when I just started dunking. But for me, it was late in the game, bro. Like, I had young legs.
Let me ask you this one now. I want to talk a little bit about the Nuggets. I'm excited personally because it feels like in the preseason so far, the ball is in your hands a lot. And I've always thought of you as a player that you can shoot, you can cut, you can do some slashing, play the dunker. But I always thought your best skill was things with the ball in your hand, passing on the move in particular. It seems like Coach Adelman is mixing it up a little bit and putting that. Is that a conversation he had? Is that something that you think developed over the summer? And how do you like what you've been doing in the preseason so far from a role standpoint?
Like I said, it's been a big summer for me. I'm super happy with my progression. I'd attest it all to just being in the gym a lot more this summer around the coaches. Like, I feel like when you go in there, like, and this goes for everybody, like, however you got to get in and get your minutes and whatever you got to do that, go ahead and do that. Like, I came in and I guarded as hard as I could, the best players, whatever was asked of me, just to get on the court. And then once you get on the court, you gain the trust, then you get to expand a little bit and whatever the coach lets you do as far as your leash goes. But I think just them seeing me play more this summer outside of the confinements of the game really showed them what my strengths were on the court with handling the ball and facilitating, getting other guys involved. And, sometimes you're really good at one thing. Like, I got really good at my role for a sec for the Nuggets, but when you work on your game and you work on yourself and the confidence is there and you continue to expand, like Coach Adelman and everything and everybody behind him, like putting that belief in me, that really just doubled down on my confidence. So I definitely say that where it started was just playing so much this summer.
Well, I want to ask about the confidence because at every level, you're confident, you break through, you get to the next one, and you have to build a new confidence for it. And there's things that can come in and trust of teammates, trust of whatever. Like, what are the obstacles you faced with confidence and obviously overcome, but the obstacles you've had to face at the NBA level?
No, that's a super good question. I think this is big for just life in general. There was a time where it was tough for me, like waking up in the morning, like, damn, I don't feel like myself, or like, damn, I'm down on myself. I don't feel like I'm playing as well as I should be, and my confidence is low. I don't even feel like my hair look good no more. Like, I get that. I get that feeling. And for me, I think it all comes from inside of you. Like, if you could look in the mirror and you could look at yourself and know that you doing everything in your power to make yourself a better person, a better player, I think that's where that confidence comes from. Now, if you've been mailing it in if you ain't been on your stuff, if you've been slacking off, then you know what the reason is when you wake up in the morning, you look at yourself and you like, damn, I'm not as confident. But if you doing everything you can and, you know, really pouring into yourself and just really believing in yourself, that's really what'll take you far in life. Like nobody's just gonna be there to give you confidence and give you confidence and give you confidence, except for your mom. You can call your mom and she'll tell you you're the most handsome boy in the world. But other than that, you got to rely on yourself. And a lot of times you're going to go out there in the world and you're going to be by yourself. Like I've been on this journey by myself for a long time, having to play on the road, do this, that, and the third. But I've just always had such a great support system around me. My mom, Dame, Brantley, like it was really a concerted group effort to get here. But the confidence, it stems from within inside for sure.
What I like about, tell me if you agree with this. One of the things I like about that is, I think we had our guy, is my guy right here that was telling you can't guard him? Is this who it was right here? I like it. Because there's a reckless confidence that you have when you're 16, 17 years old, right? But one thing I like is all you guys are good players. You're getting ready to step into a next level where there's a lot of guys just as good or better than you. And that's where your confidence gets tested. If your confidence is 100 and you're not tested, you got to get to a room where your confidence does get tested,
Mm-hmm.
and that next level get there. And once you conquer that, you get to the next level and get your confidence tested. And so, what you're talking about, I like the brashness. I like saying, "Hey, I want the best." But there's something too. Put yourself in a position where even you have to question it because you have to push through it.
100%. I think that a lot of guys say it, but you almost got to have a delusional amount of self-belief. Like that's the name of the game. If you can go out there and be yourself no matter what, and wear that confidence on your sleeve, you're gonna be all right in whatever you do. Just having the assurance that you can get it done. But man, the NBA is so crazy. It's taught me so many things about just believing in yourself, and you never know what you could do with it. So always stay true to it. Always believe in yourself. Always remain confident, because you never know when something could flip your way like that. Like you get your lucky break, you get your big opportunity. Last year I was playing and I was kind of in a rut. I wasn't playing that well. And God forbid one of our guys, Aaron Gordon, one of our best guys, goes down, and they look to me to come in and help win games and stuff like that. And I immediately came in and I just flipped that switch and I was ready. Like you got to be ready when your time comes, but always keep working and always believe that it will come, because it will.
Let me ask you about the Nuggets now this year. I'm really excited about it. And I'm a guy that I get excited for every Nuggets season. I get up for it. But there's a lot of years where I say, they're pretty good. I don't know. They're pretty good. I think you guys are very good this year. Do you feel the energy change? New coach, new front office, some new faces in there, some new energy. And then on top of that, let's be honest, some tough losses to end the season those last couple of years. So I'm looking at the team in the preseason. I'm looking at it in the summer. Everybody I talk to, there's a lot of excitement. But that's me on the outside. What's it feel like on the inside for you?
On the inside, it just feels like how it is to start with every new year with a new team and new guys around you. I think more than anything, what's been huge for us is the team building and the stuff that we do off the court, like our older guys bringing us all together for team dinners, or just to get together to do stretch, do yoga, meditation, whatever the case may be. I think a lot of our guys have been good at uniting the team in that way. And I think it's translated to the court. I think we want everybody who's new to be themselves, regardless of if they're in a new situation or not. We want them to be themselves. And if there's anything that we need to tailor or change or get better at, we know what we need to do. But we want everybody to come in, be themselves, play hard, play for the team, have pride in being a Denver Nugget, because we are one of the best teams in the league. And I think we're going to show that this year.